Exams Academy Theory Series number 2. Today's topic is Russian formalism. Russian formalism is also a 20th century movement. As name suggests, this movement started in Russia. This movement started in 1950s and flourished in 1920s. This movement is simultaneous with New Criticism. New Criticism started in Britain and America. At the same time, Russian formalism started in Russia. If you want to know more about New Criticism, please watch my video, Theory Series number 1, New Criticism. This theory, that is Russian formalism, is partly based on Saussure's linguistic theory and also symbolism. I think you are all familiar with Saussure's linguistic theory, and I am planning to do a video about it. Saussure's linguistic theory is very famous, and this theory laid foundation for many significant developments in linguistics and also in language. Ideas such as sign, symbol, signifier, signified, these are all in this particular theory. And second theory is symbolism. Symbolism is about use of symbols in a literary work which helps to represent ideas or qualities of that literary work. This movement is associated or began with Opoya's Moscow Linguistic Circle and Prague Linguistic Circle. I think you all are familiar with these names. First one is Opoya's. Actually, it is a Russian society, and its correct explanation or correct full form is given here. Please go through it. And actually, Opoya's is a society for study of poetic language. That is the English translation. So, Opoya's is a group of linguists or literary critics. They are in St. Petersburg, and this group include famous critics such as Viktor Shklovsky, Boris Ichenbaum, Yuri Tianov, like that. And these group are responsible for the development of this particular movement, that is Russian formalism, and also the development of literary semiotics. And next group is Moscow Linguistic Circle, which influenced Russian formalism. And this group was a group of theorists in Moscow, and they are interested in semiotics, literary theory, linguists, like that. And major figure of this group is Roman Jakobson. And the next group is Prague Linguistic Circle. Just like Moscow Linguistic Circle, it was also an influential group of linguists, philologists, and literary critics. This group was established in 1926 in Prague, and they developed methods of structuralist literary analysis. Major figure of this group are Boris Ichenbaum and Viktor Shklovsky. Now, key points of this movement. This movement gave importance to formal structure, just like New Criticism. Formal content or formal device means literary devices such as rhythm, meter, rhyme, metaphor, simile, syntax, like that. So, this formal contents help us to evaluate or help us to understand a literary work. That is the main essence of this particular theory. And its name, formalism, came from this particular concept. Second point is autonomous nature of the text. As a New Criticism, text is an autotelic artifact. I think you are all familiar with this point. And autotelic artifact means text is independent. Like that in formalism, they gave importance to autonomous nature of text. They rejected all outside sources such as biographies, history of the writer, or history of the text, like that. They gave only importance to the formal aspects. And this formal aspects is self-sufficient to understand about the text. And linguistics is considered as the fundamental element of literature by Russian formalists. They are of the opinion that literature has its own history, and that history is related to formal structure. Now, the third point. They are of the idea that literary language is entirely different from the ordinary language. The third point is Russian formalists believed that literary language is entirely different from ordinary language. Ordinary language is used for communication purpose only, but literary language or poetic language is self-reflexive, and this language gives special experience to the readers. For getting this special experience, the writer must use certain techniques. This technique include literariness, foregrounding, defamiliarization. These three terms are very important in Russian formalistic view, just like close reading is important in new criticism. First important quality literary language needed is literariness. This particular term is coined by Roman Jakobson. Actually, what is this literariness? Literariness is a feature that distinguishes literature from other arts. It is a deviation from ordinary language. If a text transports you into another world, then it means that that work has this quality. For example, Alice in Wonderland, that particular work, if we read that work now itself, that work transports us into another world, whether it is a child or a grown up. We are all interested in reading that particular work. It means that that work has this particular quality, that is literariness. Second quality a literary work needed is foregrounding. So foregrounding is a technique used to highlight certain expressions. While reading a text, some words or some expressions or some situations standing out from other words or situations. This technique is foregrounding. And this particular term, that is foregrounding, is coined to this technique by Jan Mugarowski, a famous linguist. Last but not least, the third technique is defamiliarization. This technique is very much important, and this particular term is coined by Viktor Shklovsky in his work Art as a Technique. If you have time, please read this particular work. It gives us wonderful explanation how can we change a literary language, or how can we change an ordinary language into literary language. Defamiliarization or estrangement effect. So this is a technique which is used to change or used to deform or used to transport an ordinary language into literary language. The word defamiliarization means making a particular thing strange, or making something unfamiliarized, or making something which is not familiar to us. Leading figures of this Russian formalism are Viktor Shklovsky, Yuri Tiyanov, Boris Ikonberg, then Roman Jakobson, etc. And that's all about Russian formalism. Hope this video will helpful for you, and thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe my channel. Please share this video, like this video. Thank you.